Hello and welcome to another episode of Creative Conversations Podcast. I'm your host, Briana and today, you guys already know what time it is. We have another amazing guest who I love, admire, and truly support and appreciate. He is a TV producer, a writer, director, and actor. Okay, I had to run that back really quick. So without further ado, this is Philaye Johnson. Yay!
What's good? Hey, Briana. I'm so happy to be here. What's up, listeners?
Yay! I'm so happy to have you, Phil. You know, I love you and I appreciate you a great deal. So I really am excited to share you with this platform. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to be on the platform. And shout out to the Ambition team.
Yes.
On the platform.
Yes, okay. And you guys have heard the Ambition team before, okay? They have been guests. We had Destiny, we had Tyreek, I'm trying to think, is there anybody else? Drew. So yes, we have had the Ambition team all up and through here. Taylor, we have had all of them, and please go listen to their episodes, but not before you listen to this one. So, Phil, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know I read your bio. I don't want to be redundant, but tell us a little bit, it's a moment to just kind of pop your shit real quick, if you will.
Okay, cool. So I'm an award-winning producer out here in LA. I make shows, films. We got a lot popping over at the studio, and we like to have a good time and have fun, creative flair with any of the projects that we're doing. So, yeah, I'm happy that people have been enjoying them, and you'll be seeing more and more as, things keep going, because it takes a long time to develop things like shows. Even Insecure, there was like 4 or 5 years behind the scenes before it even was seen on screen. So, we got some things cooking in the oven, but it's going very well. So I'm excited.
Yes, and it's just it's so interesting to be able to see it, because it's like we consume the art and we want it like we want it right now. Like as soon as you binge watch something, you're ready for the next season. And I'm certainly guilty of that, but I think that it's important to know things take time. They just don't just happen. And I think that for me, I appreciate it more when it's a little bit more time put into creating it anyway, because it's like, okay, I'm really gonna love it because it took a whole bunch. So with all these things going around and thinking about the ownership aspect and all this other stuff, sometimes inevitably that's not always the case, right? And so we see different situations where it's like clearly somebody from one community or the community we talking about was not in the room when these decisions were being made. So with that understanding, what are some LGBTQ plus or Black misrepresentations that you have that bother you the most that you see and stuff?
Well, I really thought Kendrick Lamar's album was a piece of shit, mainly because it opened up.
I was not ready. This last one?
Yes, because just the song that it opens up with, he is basically, number one, he misgenders his trans aunt, but also he says the F word 3 times. And so, yeah, I just absolutely did not support that and really, really did not appreciate that. Because for me personally, that's a word that during childhood was very, very triggering. And so it's like a white person making a song and screaming the N-word 3 times or 4 times and then being like, oh, I just did this because, I wanted to tell the story. That doesn't even make any sense. And so he gets no respect.
It's so easy to not use the word.
He gets absolutely no respect from me personally. So that was one that I thought was just horrible. On TV, I think that, and maybe in movies, I have to think of some, but there will be that stereotypical little gay token character who is just like this little sassy or whatever, little archetype that they have built and just stuck with in Hollywood. And I really don't enjoy seeing that ever. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of people have told me that's why they gravitate towards my videos that are like gays ass, because all we ever see on TV is this literal, either they're overly sassy and they're like that, or they're like very DL and they're that certain way, but it's never.
It's like DL to the point of homophobic to like be overly defensive, and it's like nobody is even checking for whatever you're doing, so like that's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like they only give those two, and so I enjoy bringing to like, you know, just a whole bunch of random of the gay characters that really exist in real life and stuff. Because I don't like the whole monolith of everyone having that one personality, because it's just not the truth. So.
I forget. It's a movie with Keenen Ivory Wayans in it, and it had the really small, like skinny, slim gay man, and they had him being really like more feminine, and like they would like do the slant. Like I feel like that was like, again, that was a long time ago, but I feel like in some ways people still take that as the prototype, and it's just like. First of all, this was probably it's like a little bit more satirical. And so it's like, you know, it's not like, it's like, okay, that's not, sure, there's room. That may be somebody, but the point is that's not everyone. So I think like we can't stick to just that being the thing.
Yeah, it makes that be like the expectation or just the image of what the only thing is. So I like shedding some light or bringing some light to all the different unique little characters who one may come across.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's just like, you know, I'm an ally, but I'm not a part of the community. So to me, I would attribute it to being like having the stereotypical Black friend in there to be like, girlfriend, no,
exactly.
No, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to make it something like that that I could be like,
right,
this is how I would feel. And so that's why I was like, I really hate that. It's just like, that's why we need more people in the rooms, because it's okay. People, it's like, it's okay for it to not just be one type of character to fulfill this. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different people in this world, and different people have a whole bunch of different intersectionalities. Exactly. It ain't just one thing.
Yes.
What is so in that same vein, what are some things that you think have been properly represented?
I think that it is cool that in music we're getting some queer representation that we never did as kids. Like Lil Nas and Santana, I did not have that growing up. And the first thing like that similar that I can remember was Jussie Smollett's character Jamal on Empire. That was in college, and that's when I actually decided.
And that's still pretty recent. You know what I'm saying? Like that was still not growing up for us, you know?
Right. That was college, and that made me come out. So maybe if I would have seen that 4 years before, maybe I would have come out 4 years before.
Yeah.
Because I didn't happen to like run across Noah's Ark while growing up, which was like the main. There were other shows, but that was the biggest, I think, Black gay one. That had come out and been seen, and I didn't happen to see it. So, so yeah, I think it's
because that was like 90s. So it was like that was not right? 90s, early 2000s.
I think it was like 2005. So I was I was like 10, and so I wasn't watching it. Like I wasn't watching any adult shows probably at that time.
Right. Or if you were, it was like a sneak situation. So it's like, where even was it, you know, airing and all this other stuff, right? So yeah, because I know my mom was parental advisory, especially like with like girlfriends and stuff. Like you remember like the UPN lineup, but like girlfriends came on. It was like, all right, time to turn it off, sis.
I watched Girlfriends for the first time ever starting in the pandemic, and I've watched it like a lot of times, like all the way through. And I love Girlfriends, but I will say that they did exactly that with the gay characters, Peaches and whoever the other one was.
Waldo.
Ronnie, they just always were like very, very overly much the same character. Yeah, it just would give them that personality.
It's just like, and it's like everybody that has maybe it's just like everybody's not messy. Like they were very messy.
That was
just like that's not.
They always made them messy and like negative, whereas that's not even really people's experience with, you know, the friends who they have in their life who are gay. That's not even like how everybody is. So many people are just like chill and not even like that. But yeah, they made it They made it look very negative in certain of those ways. Yeah, just the stereotype. It's one thing for a character to be away, but for every single character who is gay to have to be like that. And I'm trying not to call out some of the other shows who definitely got a character like that.
Definitely got characters incorrect. And it's just like, yeah, it's very counterproductive, because at that point then we get into people like fetishizing having friends who are a part of that community, any one community or the other. It's like, oh, because I just want somebody to, go shopping with me and be talk mess. Like, what? No.
Being treated like an accessory, because then people also like respect gay men's tastes. So I see it in Real Housewives because I love the show, but them women they are not innocent on the way that they treat the gays at certain points. They will actively or just proudly treat them like little accessories.
Listen, now the way that I will, what I'm probably about to bring up. Your fave had a problematic party. That was very problematic.
I literally just saw that one too, like on the last season.
That was highly problematic.
It was like girls and gays that everyone bring their favorite gay. Like,
and it was just like, what? And then I felt extra insulted with Kim because she bought a black man, and it was just like, I didn't like that. Everybody else, maybe everybody else did, but they were also black. So it was just like, I don't know, Kim.
Yeah, it was just too much.
That was like, now that was out of order now. And she did get some backlash I remember in real time. She got backlash for that.
Yeah, no, she in general be having like kind of worms for brains when it comes to the gay thing she'll say. It is just, yeah.
It's like, now, ma'am, I'm trying to protect you, but you can't. You go too far outside the parameter. I can't do anything.
She definitely said some dumb things at multiple points. I forgot about some of them till now. Yes.
Yes, baby. Like, she has truly, that girl has truly been out of order. Yeah. But we'll move on. Nene will move on this time. As a creator, do you set to give representation to LGBTQ plus community, or is it more of a natural progression because these are the intersectionalities of your life? You're Black, you're a part of that community, and it's just, and you're also a creator. So it's like, do you set out to have it's like okay, this is our mission and I got to do it? Or do you like, this is natural, this is life as I experience it, and I want to be able to represent my life so somebody else that has similar experiences can feel seen? Or do you just like, no, I'm just going to do it?
Yeah, I would say I'm trying to like track how I felt at the very beginning, right before I started, and think, okay, how important for me was everything at every different point? Because I know that from the beginning, it's like I was going through my own, things in some ways with the LGBTQ stuff. So it's like when I did Black Sex in the City, I almost was just kind of doing it and felt like it was almost an artistic expression of, like you said, kind of what I was going through. And then like, okay, if someone, not exactly what I was going through, but like just putting LGBTQ stuff out was different for me. And especially being from Detroit, it was like something I already had to get over at that time. And so I knew I wanted to be an artist, but I don't think when I first got the idea, it was like, okay, I want to put, a lot of LGBTQ this and that, because I was still coming out myself.
Right, I was gonna say that wasn't far off from when you came out.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking about the time frame. That had to have been around the time where like Empire was at its height. So yeah,
I was still more so just like gradually coming out. I had already been out, but I was like somewhat still coming out, just like trying to go after, an artistic career. And then it wasn't until I think later on within Black Sex in the City that I really, became more in the Black gay community, because before that, I had just had my boyfriend. I had never really had gay friends. I had never been in the community. So at first, it really was just like me living life while creating some art that was all just fictional and wild and fun. And so then people were enjoying it. And then it became, as I lived more as an adult and experienced more as someone in the community, that's when then it became more that was, a big passion of mine, and still is a big passion of mine, because it's like I get messages from people who, some of them are anonymous, but who are very, very positively impacted by the fact that, I'm willing to make the art and just kind of be open with the LGBTQ side, just of myself and everything. So I think that over time, it just became that living out loud and being willing to make fun art and stuff during Black Sex in the City, that was helping people feel good. And so it's like, even with the gay series, I technically didn't start it thinking, oh, I'm gonna like educate the masses on, all these different categories of gays. It was just something I had experienced the night before. I was like not dancing that. We had just finished filming The Unhinged. I wasn't dancing that much at the club. For whatever reason, I don't know. We just were standing there. I might have been like, around, just bopping around a little bit, but I wasn't doing all the TikTok dances I had been doing, doing a lot. So somebody who we were hanging with was like, oh, you're not giving the same energy as social media, blah, blah, blah. Why are you not dancing all crazy? And I was just kind of like explaining to them, like, I'm stoner gaze right now. It's kind of what I am right now. And so it wasn't until like the next day I randomly was like, because also a Santana song had played that I had never heard that I really liked. And so I just was enjoying the gay experience. Like I was living it and enjoyed it, and then just wanted to make a video, partly really for that person to explain, like, I might be this day, might be this that day, and there might be this gay, there might be that gay. So it wasn't like,
or it can be the same gay person
right,
and have all of these different
yes,
moods. Like I'm a human being, and I think that that's what's so important. I'm like, not, it's just like, just to piggyback like off the sentiment, it's just like, that's why I think it's so important as a writer. That's why I wanted to do screenwriting, because I wanted to humanize experiences for people, since they don't think that a Black woman can exist without having to be strong and having to hold a man down that do it wrong constantly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out of here if you out here tripping. Like, this is that. That's it.
Breakup and divorce are very great options. Some people don't believe in divorce. As someone who grew up, from divorce, I've always believed in divorce.
You be just fine. So yeah, like it's just like, because it's like I always believe in limits. Okay, I have limits, and if you meet that boundary, now if it's like it's out of control, I'm gonna have to, if somebody else stayed, that's amazing for y'all, and I hope that worked out for you. I'm out. Like I'm gone. So that's amazing for you, but I'm out of here. So it's just like, but I think humanizing the experience, because it's okay and there's room for everybody to exist. You know what I mean? And it's a case by case situation too. Sometimes, like you can say, you can like, even I think even Beyonce was like, I swore I'd leave. It didn't. It depends. It depends, and she's not wrong for one or the other.
Exactly. Like, shoot, whatever is right for somebody is right for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it should be. And so, yeah, I guess to answer your question, it's been a process. It's been somewhat just me living my life, and somewhat me, like aiming to inspire that positivity, because I knew whatever I wanted to do was just going to be putting some positivity into the world through the art. And, the art that I have always chosen to make has been Black and gay. And so when I, over from the beginning started seeing the positive response and like effect it was having on people, it just made me, I felt good about that, because I like when people are positively impacted by something. So the mission was kind of built through that. And
I think that's amazing, but I like, because I think sometimes people are like, oh, okay, they can kind of, I just didn't want you to, like, I want to address it, because sometimes people put you in a certain box, but it's like, you can create any story you want, but these things are the things that are prevalent in your life, and we were trying to give good light to these different things and give good representation, where it's not just one like archetype. It's like, okay, we have a whole bunch of them. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can show up however you need to show up for yourself. So you can be stoner gay one day, and you can be like we live in the club
Exactly.
the next day, and that's okay.
You can be on the couch the very next day. Like standing on the club couch, I'm saying. You can,
Yes.
yeah.
Or not. You could be at in your living room couch. That's up to you.
Exactly. Club couch, club living room. Like, so yeah, I just honestly things just be kind of spontaneous, and then yeah, I just go with the flow. And I feel like we had talked about it, maybe it was before the thing started rolling earlier, but we just all out here winging it. Like we just wake up and we creating,